Hey there, I'm JoJo Gentry, and thank you for watching the Week 6 edition of Inside Butler Football. This week we'll have Associate Head Coach Joe Cheshire to review the 49-41 victory versus Stetson, and to take a look at next week's game at Campbell. Stay with us on Inside Butler Football. Coach Cheshire, thanks so much for being here today.
Not a problem. Thanks for having me.
First of all, the Bulldogs had a strong second half, which resulted in a victory. It's interesting, though, Stetson totaled more than 550 yards, while Butler gathered about 400. But Stetson blitzes. So how was Butler able to protect quarterback Matt Schiltz and score efficiently?
It's a combination of everyone doing their part and doing their job. And we always talk about we're a do your job, know your job, do your job efficiently type program. And, you combination of the offensive line protecting, to giving him the time, to Matt making the correct reads, and then also the receivers, getting open in one-on-one matchups and, making catches and working the ball downfield. I think it's never one person at fault. It's never one person that gets all the credit. So I think, it's a combined effort of, multiple people doing their job, and that's why, it's a team game. 11 guys have to do their job to be successful, and I think that's what you saw most often on Saturday night with those guys is, the times that, 11 guys were doing their job, you had success. If 11 guys weren't doing their job, you probably struggled to have the results you really wanted.
And one guy that did his job was redshirt freshman Sam Schrader, who had more than 200 yards in just his 5th collegiate game. So what did you think about his performance on Saturday, and how do you plan to keep him rolling as a strong running back?
Well, Sam's a great player. He's explosive. He's dynamic. Obviously has great speed. So he has big play potential at any point in time. And, seeing him last year on a scout field or the prep team, firsthand, you always knew the potential is there. It's a matter of him putting it together. And he's done a very nice job of, just taking what comes to him in terms of the scheme and hitting his gaps when he needs to hit it and getting vertical and doing what he does best, which is run in space. And, the offensive coaches do a great job of creating a plan, and I'm sure that'll continue. I mean, it's not, and again, it's a product of everyone doing their job, and, he does his job well, and he plays off the other guys that are doing their job. So, as far as, what he needs to do, he needs to keep doing what he's doing, but also improve every week and, have a plan working forward on how he can continue his success.
How did Butler defense make key plays in crucial moments? Butler had 2 interceptions, and one of them led to an immediate offensive score.
Yeah, well, Coach Voris talks about all the time is the complementary football, and our job as a defense is to get off the field. It can look pretty at times, it can look real ugly at times, but the bottom line goal for us as a defense is to get off the field. To me, I'm not real concerned about yardage. We're not concerned about yards. We're concerned about points. At the end of the day, people can get, 1,000,000 yards as far as I'm concerned. As long as they're not scoring, that's the end-all, be-all goal. And, for them to make plays in critical situations is the same reason why they don't make plays in some situations. It's a product of being in the right place at the right time, seeing your key, and fitting the defense in terms of what the scheme calls you to do, and knowing where you're supposed to be and knowing your fit. And when you're in the right place, good things happen. When you're not in the right place, sometimes you're going to struggle. And, that's the thing moving forward for us defensively that was at times disappointing is, we just weren't in the right spots at times and gave up some chunk yardage plays that if we had been in the right spot and looked at the right keys, we wouldn't have given up. But that's why it's a team game. And, at the end of the day, they scored less than us, so you get a win. And that's, the end-all, be-all goal is a win. Sometimes you win 49-41. Sometimes you might win 10-7, So, again, it's you walk away with a win. You can learn lessons with a win, and you feel good about that moving forward.
Now we'll get back to next week's game at Campbell in just a few minutes. Next up, we'll have David Burke on this week's Get to Know Your Bulldog. David, thanks so much for being here.
No problem.
So you're a 5th-year senior safety. Talk about your time with the Butler program.
Well, it's flown by. 4.5 years I've been with the program. Started as a redshirt freshman. Didn't get to see much time as a freshman, but it's been an up and down road with a couple championships, and hopefully can snag a 3rd one this season.
Talk about the recruiting process that you went through to get to Butler.
Well, I actually didn't get reached out to from a Butler coach until pretty late in the spring semester, my senior year. But when they did, there was a few other high school players from my high school, Lakota West in Cincinnati, that were on the Butler team. So they kind of talked to me a little bit. I came down for a visit, and it was really kind of a perfect fit after the visit and talking with some of those older guys.
Now talk about your academic and athletic experiences you've had at Butler.
Well, I came in actually as an engineering degree. Didn't stick with that too long, but kind of bounced around a little bit for my sophomore year, and then I settled on business and really focused on the marketing aspect. But kind of through my junior and senior year, I decided that if I was going to be here for a fifth year for football, that I'd have time to pursue a double major. So I went ahead and got after a marketing and finance degree. So,
what do you want freshmen and incoming students to know about the Butler football program?
I just want to know that it's definitely a great. It's like the coaches say, it's probably the best internship you can ever have. You'll learn a lot about yourself and what it takes to succeed in life as well as on the field. And don't take anything for granted and just have fun with it.
What's been your favorite memory with the program?
I definitely have to say our first championship in 2012. When we beat Jacksonville at home, wasn't our last game of the season, but it was a clinching game, so that when we did beat Jacksonville, we knew that we were getting at least a share of the title, if not the outright title. So that was pretty unforgettable.
Sounds like a good time. Thanks so much for being here.
Oh, no problem. Thank you.
Now let's talk about next week's game at Campbell. It's the Dogs' second consecutive game on the road. How do you plan to keep your players hungry for another PFL victory?
I don't think it's a matter of keeping them hungry. I mean, they're always going to be hungry. It's a conference game. That in itself is going to get them to move forward. I think, we always talk about the 24-hour rule. You never dwell on a loss for longer than 24 hours. You never celebrate a win for longer than 24 hours. For us, it's about moving on, and once we move on to that next phase, it becomes a preparation timetable. It's getting what you need to do during the week done in a certain amount of time. Obviously, there's a certain challenge with traveling. Especially in our league, it's hard to win on the road. The great teams can do it, and they find a way to win. The teams that struggle are the ones that don't win on the road. That's the difference. Everyone plays well at home. It's a matter of the teams that do a great job in preparation, that can handle the travel and all the challenges that presents. Those are the teams that usually find themselves at the end of the year in the ball game in terms of a conference championship. So again, that's where we want to find ourselves. That's where we want to position ourselves. And to do that, we're going to have to win games like this. And Campbell is not concerned with our travel schedule. They're not concerned with us having to play 2 on the road. That's the least of their worries. They're worried about winning a home game. So no one feels sorry for you in this league. You don't get any sympathy, and our guys know that. You have to embrace the challenge. It's a quick turnaround. It's another plane flight. But when our program's been great and our players respond is when you have games like this that are potentially season-swinging type games, and this will be a big challenge for our guys. But they're always going to be hungry for it. It's just the next one in the conference.
Butler's defeated Campbell the last 2 years. What went well during those games, and what would you like to see this weekend?
It's kind of the same story with what we always do. It's guys playing together, playing complementary football. Last year's game, we got off to a quick start. Offense put some scores in. We got some stops, and then you end up winning the game. And that's always the case when you play well and all 3 units are playing together. You obviously have a chance. Now, this year will be a tremendous challenge. They're a very talented team. They're coming off 2 in a row PFL wins, so they've got a lot of confidence. They're playing at home. There's some advantage in that. And so they're not going to back down from us. I mean, they're going to embrace this challenge, and we know that we're going to get most people's best shot. And there's comfort in knowing that, because you're going to have to play a great game, and in order to get a win. So we're excited, and extremely excited about going down there and embracing that challenge. But it's going to be a good one. They're a good football team. Every team in our league is a good football team. So we're going to have to play our best for sure. Last year, the year before, 2 in a row, it really doesn't matter. It's a new year, it's a new game, and you can throw everything out.
And Campbell is one of Butler's biggest rivals. What can fans expect to see when they arrive in North Carolina this weekend?
Well, I mean, it's a PFL conference game. It's going to be good. It's going to be back and forth. It's probably going to be close, no matter what way you look at it. Two teams that really want to win. Two teams that are going to be very physical. Two teams that are going to play extremely hard, and hopefully it's a sound game as far as scheme and guys executing and all that stuff. But you're going to get both teams' best effort. I think that's the big thing. And every game's a huge game. Every game's a rivalry game because they mean so much in the conference, and everyone wants to win them. So, I think that's what you'll get. You'll have a great crowd there. They've got a great environment. The weather will be great. It's a matter of now the teams coming out and executing and trying to get that edge during the game and making the adjustments they need to in game that everyone strives to try to get done. But it'll be exciting. It's going to be a great day.
Coach Cheshire, thanks so much for being here, and good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Thanks again for watching the Week 6 edition of Inside Butler Football. I'm JoJo Gentry. Have a great week, Bulldog fans.